Thanks for tuning in to the Prime Bookseller Podcast, the bi-weekly podcast discussing all things Amazon bookselling.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Prime Bookselling Podcast. And I've got a really quick episode today that I just wanted to talk about because this question has come up and I've never really specifically indicated it on an episode before. So for anybody that might be a little confused about this, I think if you've been around books at this point in time a little bit, you're going to be like, why are you doing this episode? This is completely irrelevant, but realize that some of the listeners have not been around books for a long period in time. They're just getting started into this world. And so the golden question is, what are we talking about? And that is, what is an ISBN? And an ISBN is basically, simply put, it's the unique identifier for every book. Pretty much every book that is published has an ISBN number. There's some organization out there, I don't even know the ins and outs of it, that you go to when you want to publish a book and say, I need an ISBN number. You pay a fee to them. They assign you an ISBN number. It goes into a database that says this ISBN number is specifically assigned to this book. And the reason that number is important as an Amazon bookseller is because when you are sourcing books and you're scanning the barcode on the back of the book to get pricing information from whatever sourcing tool you're using, or when you're using that barcode to scan into Amazon to list the book, what you're essentially utilizing is the ISBN number. So you scan that barcode, all that barcode code stores is what the ISBN number of the book is. Amazon sees that ISBN number and pings it, brings back the information for it. So with that said, there are some great caveats to Amazon, to the ISBN number. So, like I said, the ISBN number is supposed to be completely universal, only one book assigned to every ISBN number. Well, in the reality of the world, it's a little messier than that. And it is certainly messier than that with Amazon's database, because if you use a listing software similar to like an inventory lab or something, you've probably scanned an ISBN of a book and it has brought up more than one book for you to select between. And that is just simply because databases are built by humans and humans are not perfect. And neither is Amazon's database. So it is very important while you're listing items, and if you are relying on that specific ISBN, that you do pay attention to what Amazon shows once you scan that ISBN to make sure that that book is actually what Amazon has it mapped as. Because while it is not very common, there are errors in that database where it might bring up the wrong book, or it might bring up two different books and you might select the wrong book. So it is super important that you keep an eye on that, because if you have a large amount of these where the ISBNs are mismatched and you list them under the wrong ISBN, Amazon does not care that their database is incorrect at all. They are going to penalize you for that, and they could potentially suspend your account. So it is very important. It is your responsibility to make sure that Amazon's data is correct. It's not Amazon's responsibility to ensure that. So with that said, the biggest thing of this is to understand what an ISBN is, and to understand that Amazon cannot, or that Amazon's database is not 100% correct, and that there can be mistakes in it. And so you need to be extra diligent as you're listing items to make sure that those items are correct. The other caveat to this is that there are two different ISBNs that I know of, and maybe they have even come up with another factor at this point, but there's a 13-digit ISBN and a 10-digit ISBN. And I just want people to realize that these two numbers are out there. I mean, if you haven't figured out, a 13-digit ISBN is 13 digits, and a 10-digit ISBN is only 10 digits. Easy way to indicate a 13-digit ISBN is it usually starts with a 97. It's most predominantly 978. There are books coming out that do have 979 as well. So, just the big difference between those is that you want to keep in mind that Amazon's database can resolve a 13-digit ISBN down to the 10-digit ISBN. But Amazon basically works with the 10-digit ISBN only. And so just keep that in mind whenever you pull reports from you. If most books will actually have the 13-digit ISBN on the back of them, and it may throw you off if you ever download a report after you've listed books. You're going to see Amazon list all the 10-digit ISBNs for each book, where you might look on the back of the book and say, well, those are two completely different numbers. Well, the reason for that is the back of the book has the 13-digit ISBN. You scan it into Amazon, it resolves it down to the 10-digit ISBN. So, and then the other part of this is that this is especially prevalent in children's books. If you look on the back of the book, a lot of children's books, for some reason, don't have ISBNs. The publishers, for whatever reason, don't purchase the ISBNs from whoever you purchase them from. They just put barcodes on the back of them. And typically, I mean, those are the ones you want to be really careful of, because those are the ones that are going to really show up wrong on the Amazon database. Typically, when we list books, the books that don't have ISBNs but just have UPC codes, the easy way to tell this is that typically those barcodes, under every barcode on an item, they'll always have the number that's embedded into the barcode written out in there. And typically those are going to start with like a 0, and they're usually 12 digits, but on books it can be weird. They can be like 5 digits, whatever, but they're not going to have that typical 97897 number. It'll be like 03245, so on and so forth. You do not want to trust those barcodes whatsoever. Generally, if you flip open the book and look at like one of the pages will show all the publisher's information and stuff like that. If the book has a barcode like that and it has an ISBN, it will be listed in that page. Otherwise, you want to manually look that book up on Amazon, and Amazon will then tell you what the actual barcode of the item is. Because those barcodes that are on the back of those books are extremely inconsistent. I've seen those barcodes resolve to car parts, to umbrellas, to electronics. So if you're just speeding through and listing and not paying any attention and just taking whatever Amazon gives you, you're going to end up with a whole bunch of weird stuff listed if you have those types of barcodes. So just be very diligent of that and make sure that you're paying attention to that. So I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about ISBNs. If somebody feels like I missed something, go ahead and message me. Let me know. I'm happy to do a follow-up episode with this. I want people to realize what an ISBN is, but there really isn't a whole lot to an ISBN. So with that, I'll wrap this episode up. Again, I want to thank everybody for their continued support of the podcast. And if you are looking for more books for your Amazon business, please do click on those links in the show note or go over to kingsridgemedia.com. Set up a meeting with me. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it. We'll see how we can get you some more books for your business. And with that, I will wrap this up, and I'll be back in 2 weeks with another episode. Thanks again, everybody, for the continued support. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the Prime Bookseller Podcast. Join us for the next episode as we discuss all things Amazon bookselling.